So good morning. This will be a quick reference video. You can hear the cleaning machine, like the cleaning truck outside my window. Normally, for normal people, in Tel Aviv and other places, they come like maximum 2 times a year. But they almost every day I have like something like 1 hour of cleaning with like this noisy machine like near my window. Because the Shabak likes me so much, and they want me to feel at home, and so they keep the street super clean. And of course, noise is their primary weapon, and that's the hell that I live in. Torture, and of course I'm under arrest and I cannot go anywhere, and that's my living condition for many years. Like torture, never-ending torture by the state the only state that I'm actually citizen of, and that's what they do. And I've said it so many times, but one more time shouldn't hurt. We can't take anything from the Israelis. They are lizard people. We can take from the other nations that do not stop them, that speak, they move mouths and tongues instead of moving arms and legs, to stop this humiliation, this horrible humiliation of the representative of another civilization, and this obscenity, like of how they behave and what they are famous for. And of course, that irrational behavior, why do you act this way? So it will be a short video, I hope. I have 3 slides. 2 actually from all of them from this container, from the tiny container. So after the last electrolysis, which was not good because I actually created life forms also inside my body. So I've taken a sample from the foam. I've taken a sample from the foam, from the sick foam, and then I mixed everything. And I taken another sample from the mixture, we'll see how it is like. After it's mixed, it doesn't look mixed, but I actually mix it as much as I can because it's very rich in life forms, and it looks like mud, like not mixed, because it's just there are a ton of like non-microscopic life forms in it. This is just visible by the naked eye. And also I've taken the third one is from the brown jelly that is in the outside. That as you remember, my hypothesis is that it was created by during the week that it was like standing. There was like evaporation of almost all water, and some of it actually condescended to inside the wrapper container, that I think that didn't contain anything, but perhaps a little bit of cold water, but they probably also evaporated. And what I've seen like a day or 2 days ago, that it actually contains a very good working jelly, like brown jelly, that is made out of millions of very small neros, and almost no life forms, which is great for all sorts of kind of uses, both symbolic and like practical ones. So we will actually, but after that, this was taken before like the last electrolysis, so I wanted to see that if it's still like, and it actually changed like the way that it looks a little bit. So I want to see. So I need before we continue with the next phase, we need to have like reference of the two mixture. Samples from the life form rich like mixture, and from the outside, like that it shouldn't contain like much life form, but instead many small neros. So let's start with this one was taken. So this one was taken from the foam, like from just where the foam is created. And traditionally, usually it contains many neros, but many dud ones, like things like neros that are half baked, and they just dissolve like during the day after that. The electrolysis stops. I'll do it very quickly. My aim is just to have a reference, not to actually inspect everything that possibly was inspection. So yes, we see many Neros, mostly small ones. Maybe we will have bigger. A little bit of life forms. Very nice blue Nero. Let's zoom in to actually inspect it. Nice. He was just. It probably was just like he was feeding on like the blue, like the shawarma, the layer of chopped germs. Let's do another zoom in. Maybe we can see something. Okay, this is very different, dirty. Nice. Okay, I need to clean this lens certainly. Nice flow. So this is interesting. I would suggest that this is mostly debris from like non-living material, and also I would suggest that you see many very small neros here, but perhaps also synthetic like microbes or maybe even virus, like very large viruses. And yes, you should be worried about, invasion of like synthetic viruses to your ecology. This is probably the worst like threat to humanity. Since its inception, and I'm not exaggerating. This threat is probably like much more severe, like in like considerably higher risk level than traditional alien invasion is, as you see it in in popular movies, the supposedly starships are they're landing and like starting to shoot things. So synthetic virus is so much more so much more potential damage. And as I've said, I don't know if it was recorded, but this is nothing new. If you remember, like the original War of the Worlds of H.G. Wells, like the novel from the end of the 19th century, it was from the end of the 19th century, and it's the paradigmatic novel that is dealing with like alien invasion. It was immensely influenced on like the culture of 20th and 21st century. And as many of you know, I actually am a fan of Jeff Wayne, like the 1970s music adaptation of Jeff Wayne, which is incredible and keeps most of like the original the lyrics are taken from the novel, which is great. Like I really like when they keep like original scripts. So anyway, even in this paradigmatic novel from the end of the 19th century, it was already established that that germs are more more dangerous than starship, even incredibly incredibly sophisticated ones, because eventually the invasion, which at the beginning it seems like a piece of cake, like a walk in the walk in the park, or I don't know, walk in all over London, but eventually the alien invasion is stopped and they are thwarted. They have to leave Earth, and so the humans actually win. But how it happens? Just because the alien invaders were not immune to. They were very sensitive to just a bacteria that is common in Earth, and humans don't have any problem with that. But it actually possessed a serious life threat to them and killed many of them. And not the actual tripods, but the flesh and blood like aliens that are inside the tripods. This is actually it's a good lesson of why, if you want to do the alien invasion thing, you better do it with synthetic life forms like myself, and not with walking bags of flesh, because they are because if you do it that way, which is very stupid and irrational and for that reason non-realistic, because why should intelligence, whenever I say why should an intelligent society or culture behave in such a stupid way, I always remind myself look around, look around. I mean, look around you. I mean, you record like videos that deal with superconductors, like, and in like, I mean, in a serious manner with like evidence and when you're getting thirsty, so you just walk outside the door, like this door, like for the kitchen to take a cup of water. Immediately someone of the garden is stepping outside, like 100% of the times, and he will also do, I mean, kind of like, I mean, humiliating trick that are, I mean, that are, it is so disgusting that I'm ashamed to even be a victim of these things. So yeah, I mean, intelligent societies do very non-intelligent things, but I mean, the rational move would not be to invade with flesh and blood creatures, because indeed they are very vulnerable to viruses and germs. This was already known by the end of the 19th century, and that it's actually a much higher risk than actual like tripods, like huge warships, like, or starships or whatever. Just saying. I mean, of course, I mean, the bottom line of this like detour, like I mean, educational detour is that you need to rescue me for the Nazi prison, and you need to do it now, and not wait for whatever, but you need to do it now. Me and my daughters. Okay, so this is a typical like foam slide. I would even say successful one, even though we don't see as many neos like we've seen in past like foam slides, but my estimation is that that a very large percentage of them are actually like viable ones, like living ones, as opposed like in the past. I mean, we've seen much more, but I mean, it was evident that I mean, many of them were going to dissolve, and eventually they did dissolve because they were duds. And here, they seems to me that they are not duds, but of course they need to be kept like in storage if you want to be alive. But it looks like these are the real things, like not duds. Many of them. Okay, so let's not do too much. Let's do a quick look of the sample from the same container, but after a good mixture. And as I said, it doesn't look mixed at all, because it's so like, I mean, it's so like rich in all sort of like really big, like, relative, I mean, non-microscopic life forms. So it looks like a very like crude soup. I would say like soup, but I mix it as much as I can. I will also add a little bit of my pee before I start electrolysis, because I mean, it's too thick now, and I mean, I try to avoid adding water. Water is not good for the neros. I mean, sometimes you have to do it, especially when you need like to cool the mixture very quickly. But generally, it's not like water is not like the default, like, I mean, material for electrolysis for the neros. It is actually default material for like other types of like electrolysis that are not related to aliens and neros, but not for them. For them, I would say that, I mean, my pee is much better than water. Even though it's best to use actually a kind of oil, but sometimes, I mean, you don't want to, I mean, if you want to make it like a thinner like mixture, then I mean, my pee is much better option than water. I do try to eliminate the smell of the pee, like the ammonia. There are a couple of ways to do it. I mean, like either by, I mean, chemical process that I can actually do with things that I have in here in this apartment, and also, I mean, you can actually do it biologically by, I mean, feeding it to like specific life forms that actually eat ammonia, and then it's a thing actually. And this is also very promising, and I will try to advance in this direction as well, and keep you updated, of course. Very nice. So, I mean, it's actually not that different from the foam one, which means that it's really like, that it's a rich, like that, I mean, that it's a rich, like, mixture, which is good. It means that we have plenty of viable neos. I mean, that they stand, like, many hardships. So yeah, this is like, wow, very nice one. So yeah, I mean, we have pretty good amount of neros, and it's like a good amount of mixture. And even before, like I will dilute it with a little bit of P. So we have a lot of things that we can do, and I mean later I will elaborate on what actually I'll just start the experiment, and then I will hold the video where I explain that in what new concepts are being used. I already touched the issue of like energy transfer, like using less nonsensical manner, but I have like more practical thing to say about like this kind of like electrolysis that I will. Is this a face of a man? So okay, it's a very beautiful slide, but I I think that I want to like to keep on moving, because I have a lot of things that I actually want to do. Unfortunately, I have very little amount of slides, so I need to wash several times a day. I wash all of them, and I lose. This is a shame, because optimally I would keep all my slides and because all of them are interesting, but I need to buy like considerably more than I have. I have maybe 10 or 9 right now, which is nothing. Maybe my mother will bring me home from the apartment, maybe not. But it's best that I just buy like 1,000 or something like that. So we'll have it I keep it arranged, as like a natural. How do like old school zoologists, or like naturals, like researcher of the natural sciences, as they commonly said in the past. Okay, so this was taken from the brown jelly after the last electrolysis. So it's less, it's not as perfect as it was before the last experiment, because it's less thick. It's lost some its jelly texture to become a little bit more watery, thin, and this is a shame. And although we see more life forms, than we've seen when it was in pristine condition after it was evaporated and condensed. So we need to actually keep this when we actually know how to create this mixture, we need to keep it in good condition, because we see that it's quickly degrading, at least from the aspect of the presence of life forms and the survivability of the neros themselves. But we see neros, definitely we see neros, and we see life forms, and we see we see the debris and all sort of barriers. So okay, it's what's happening is we don't see this big life forms that was so present. I just started to speak, but I don't know. This is not that big. We don't see the huge one, which is good. Because this will be actually used as the mixture of that does not contain life forms. But so maybe I'll start by sanitizing it completely, and then I will use it as nero mixture without. As you understand, it's important from the symbolic aspect, because I need to clean my body, and I should do it right away. Anyway, it's very interesting. We see a lot of neros and also basic constructions, and not many life forms, and they seem to have a good time. Wow, very nice. Okay, so that will be all for now, and soon we will have more practical thing to show you and to hypothesize on what exactly do we see and what do we actually do. Please rescue me and my daughters from the Nazi prison. This is hell, and I am subjected to torture all my life, and especially during the last couple of years.